So the Bitcoin chart is moving between the lower boundary line of the trend channel and the upper boundary line of the trend channel. So we want to talk about the potential of an upside breakout here. We'll do that on the smaller time frame. I will also show you on the smaller time frame what the relevant micro support and resistances are just now, what to watch out for over the coming sessions so that you're prepared. The overall situation can be summarized, I think, in quite a simple way. The first point I try to make here constantly is that we do not have any sign, we have not any signal that the bear market is actually over. So the bear market as an ABC structure to the downside, where recently the third phase of the bear market started, that's still unfolding. And there's absolutely no sign that it's over. We expected a rally in July. It happened. We said that, well, normally August is bearish. But the situation in July was more clear. So in July, also the Elliott Waves told us we'll likely get a bounce and seasonality. Now we do not have that clarity because seasonality in August is rather pointing to the downside. Elliott Wave at least leaves the door open for another bounce, but it's not absolutely needed because we already reached resistance, which was the expectation. Yeah, so it's a nice to have move. It just isn't, there's no need for it to happen. The support area that we're tracking for this bounce to occur, or from where this bounce could occur, that's unchanged and is defined between 59,317 and $62,436. So as long as the market can defend this zone and start the C wave up, we're good. Okay, we're good for an extended wave 2 to the upside. But there are certain things I need to see to confirm that this bounce has started, and I will show you what that is on the smaller time frame. So I want to say I'm fairly neutral about this bounce. I was quite clear on the expectation of a rally in July. I think we can still get that bounce. I think I slightly prefer it just because of the structure of the pullback, because let's be honest, if this move had already topped, it should be a bit more aggressive because the next decline should be a third wave. So we can compare that with the decline from these last tops in January. Do you see how impulsive the decline looked like? Do you see how impulsive the decline from the May high looked like? Do you see what kind of choppy mess we now have? There's a lot of up and down there, and it's very slow. So the momentum is different. To me, the current decline looks much rather like a three-wave decline, something similar to what we had here after the February initial bounce high, or here after the swing high in December, when we set up for another move up, all right? So it just doesn't look like an impulsive decline. So we want to keep the door open for higher prices. It's not needed, but we have very clear support levels to watch. So I think what we're now going to do, we're going to zoom in to this microstructure here, and we're going to take a look at how the market has responded to this support area and what we now need to see to be more confident that a C wave up has started, or maybe not. So let's take a look. Okay, so let's take a look at the microstructures here. Before we do that, though, quick reminder, you can also follow us on X for a lot of additional updates. It's the More Crypto Online channel. You find a lot of additional updates here, charts, news, and much more. Basically 24/7. So if you want to stay up to date, there are also some exclusive videos, and often the updates come a little sooner than here on YouTube. So feel free to check it out. And let's now carry on with the smaller time frame. This is interesting because here we can see obviously the relevant microstructures. We can see that the market formed the 5-wave move up into the 15th of July high, and now the market is in a sideways consolidation. It's a correction. As you can see here, this decline, it looks overlapping. There are many overlapping structures here, and it is very, very similar. Not similar, sorry. It's very different to what we saw after the decline here in May. That was quite impulsive. And also, whenever we formed more significant tops, the decline looks just different, right? This is from the May high. To be honest, we also had quite an impulsive decline from the January high. There is not so much overlap. The overlap is in the current decline, and that means the bears are not that strong. And we even have a 5-wave move up, which suggests that we could get at least another move up. So I'm still looking for higher because the decline doesn't convince me. Okay. Now, if we then zoom into the microstructures, we said over the weekend that the market might form one more low, which it did, and then should start a wave 4 bounce, which it did, and that will probably stay a little while in the range, which we are doing, basically in the channel. So that's still holding. And then looking at the nanostructures, the idea was, hey, okay, look, the market is likely starting the wave 4 bounce, which should be an ABC structure. Currently, we could be working on the C wave advance and initial micro support for an internal wave 4, or let's say micro support for upside continuation, is between 63,143 and 63,558, which means we could still get another push higher towards the yellow trend line. That would not be the problem. We could even get another breakout attempt, but last time it failed as well, and there wasn't even an hourly candle close above the channel. So one more high definitely can't be ruled out. I can tell you, though, that below 63,143, it will become more probable that the next leg down has started, basically labeled wave 5, which could take us into the support zone again for one more low, potentially to touch the lower boundary line of the channel again, and to reach the 61.8 retracement to 50% retracement levels between 60,665 and 61,592. I'll of course keep you updated about any changes, but that would be currently the microstructure. Now, could it already be a major breakout? It could be, but it looks like a 3-wave move up so far. There is quite a lot the bulls need to do to convince me that we're already on direct breakout. So one more low would remain the ideal scenario here. Bear in mind that the first resistance is the trend line at around 64K. Yeah, as I said, I'll of course keep you updated about any changes. Hope it was helpful. If you're interested in additional updates, I also recommend that you check out our membership. There are many additional member videos, altcoin updates, and so on. Also, exclusive Bitcoin updates for those who support the channel. As a gold member, you can also join our Discord feed. You can get access to our terminal and so on. All of that's included. So yeah, thanks so much. Have a great day. You find all the links in the comments. Bye-bye.